Yes, guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome to the George Benson football channel. It's Conference League time again. This is always fun. Chelsea are travelling to Germany to a very small little village between Stuttgart and Munich. And the city is, or the village, the town. I think it's a town. It's called Heidenheim. All right. You've probably never heard of these guys before. I think the story behind Heidenheim is such a good one that I'm going to explain a little bit about who they are, where they come from in this video today, as well, of course, as the always sought after score predictions, who's going to be scoring the Chelsea goals, and my Chelsea starting 11. But before we do get into that, though, it is Black Friday week, which is commonly known across the world as the week where you can find yourself bargains in shops and online stores, and the Chelsea Megastore is absolutely no different this week. The code BLUEFRI, F-R-I 40, with the QR code here on the screen or the link in the description, can get you 40% off stuff at the Chelsea Megastore. Make sure you use my link because I do get a little throwback from it and you guys get great discounts as well. So it helps me and you guys get what you want for cheap. It sounds like a good deal to me. Chelsea away at Heidenheim in the Conference League. We're looking at this, and if you look at the Conference League table, Heidenheim are doing very well indeed. It's a lot different when you think about the quality of football in Armenia, which is where FC Noah, or Noah's Ark, as all the Chelsea content creators, myself included, referred to it as. We beat them 8-0 in the last game. And as much as, I loved watching Chelsea win 8-0, I think that was the game where we realised how out of our depth we are in this competition. And I don't mean that in the sense of we're not good enough, we can't compete. It's a bit too easy. But I think this is going to be a significantly more difficult challenge. Heidenheim, the story behind where this club have come from is incredible. The manager that they have right now, his name is Frank Schmidt. He's been the manager for 17 years. Can you imagine a manager in Premier League football right now being at the club for 17 years? The only guy I thought could do that is Pep Guardiola. But this man is flipping hurting himself in the dressing room. Serious business, that, to be fair. I can't believe that genuinely happened. But the fact of the matter is, Heidenheim have come from the 5th tier in German football. It is a very, very small village. Their stadium, I think, used to hold 800 fans. And since then, since their meteoric rise in German football, they've now got a 15,000-seater stadium. It's very much a town where football is centerpiece. It plays a huge part in the culture of the village, the town. And this is obviously for them a match that they look at and think, wow, look how far we've come. Yes, to get to the Conference League, they finished 8th in the Bundesliga, which isn't exactly like Champions League form, but that's what this competition is. It gives those sides that are still doing very well in their respective leagues and some of the more, let's say, minnow countries in Europe, it gives people a chance to compete against bigger sides on the European stage. So for Heidenheim, this game will mean everything. The fact it's away from home, I think, makes it very difficult for Chelsea. It's going to be a hostile atmosphere. Everyone's going to be up for this. Right now in the Bundesliga, they're 15th in the table. But very much last season, to finish 8th, pretty much everybody that I've read or the whole Heidenheim story basically indicates that them even being in this competition is a massive overachievement. So, with that being said, Chelsea cannot afford to go into this with any kind of complacency, which I don't think we will. With Maresca as a manager, he'll have looked at FC Noah, the fact that they drove on a bus from Armenia, it took 2 days. This isn't the case here. Heidenheim have got a good squad. They're in the German league, which is, like I've said already, significantly better quality on a week-by-week basis. They recently got battered by Bayer Leverkusen 5-2, but there's goals in their side, and their recent run in the league has been pretty atrocious, but they're winning games in this Conference League. They're not battering teams. I think they went to Hearts in their last match, Scottish side Hearts. They won 2-0, scored a late goal to make it 2. 2 headers from crosses. Chelsea have been susceptible to those kind of goals conceded at times because we don't have too much height in this side. So, with that being said, I've got to build my Chelsea 11 for this one. I'm weirdly I'm not nervous about it because I think we'll win, but I'm more nervous about this one than I certainly was with FC Noah coming to Stamford Bridge. So, Without any further ado, let's build this Chelsea starting 11. Before we do that, if you're not subscribed to GBFC, got loads of content coming your way at the moment. I said when I got back from Thailand, between now and Christmas, we are going hard. Podcasts, previews, reviews, loads of videos coming your way. So make sure you're subscribed and smack a like if you enjoy these previews before Chelsea matches. Philip Jorgensen is Chelsea's Europa League goalkeeper. We have seen all season Sanchez is Mr. Premier League. Jorgensen is Mr. Europa League. I'm hoping that we see a really solid performance from Jorgensen. I think in all of these Conference League games, Maresca will not only want to win, it's not necessarily about how many every time, but defensively, I think is where Maresca's going to be looking at this here, thinking, if we can put up a really solid defensive performance, it's great for the competition in this goalkeeping position, great for the competition also with the defence, which we move into now. I've gone with Axel Disasi at right back, which I'm not going to lie, every time I do this, I feel like a fraud. Tosin, Badiashile, and Renato Vega is my back four. Look, Axel Disasi, man, I liked him at times last season, but I think he was like clouding over the fact he's bang average by doing crazy fun celebrations that endeared him to Chelsea fans. The reality is, Disasi's not a right back for a start. I'd love it to be JustACoupleGs. I've said this in every single European game preview. I want to see JustACoupleGs out there. The latest news on that, by the way, is that Chelsea feel as though they're making progress on this contract, but like, I don't think it's any more complicated than it is. It's a big, big moment for him, whether he stays at Chelsea or whether he goes. And the fact that Chelsea have frozen him out means that Gusto didn't play at the weekend. James is obviously injured again. I think there's no other option than Axel Disasi playing there. We're not going to risk Wesley Fofana sticking as a right back for the Conference League games when we need him in the Prem, to be quite honest. Tosin and Badiashile. Badiashile, I thought, had a good game against Leicester. He's had good games in this competition. I'd love to see him continue to build on that form in this tournament. And when we get the score predictions later, I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to tell you who's going to score in this game for Chelsea, you know. You might be surprised. Tosin obviously got a goal in the last one. And Renato Vega, love watching this guy play. I think he's got a bit of everything. He's a bit raw, makes mistakes, but an exciting acquisition from the summer. Moving into a midfield two. And I'm a bit worried about this one also because, not worried actually, that's completely the wrong word. I'm not worried at all. I'm more just curious as to how we see the team develop here when it comes to that A team, B team. I don't like calling it that, but that's the reality, right? So I think it's between Enzo and Lavia to partner Kearn and Dewsbury Hall in the midfield. I never want to see Dewsbury Hall play on the right wing or the left wing or anywhere in the attack again. I think he's a midfielder. I think we need to see what we saw him used as at Leicester. So maybe it's Lavia for this one. But I think he's going to keep Enzo Fernandez in the team. I think Enzo is building confidence right now. And what he's expected to do in this Chelsea side that we saw at the weekend was arrive in the box, score goals. He got a goal and an assist. It was a man of the match performance from Enzo Fernandez. And I think for the start of this one, I think he'll start the game. He will look to control the game. Maresca will want to see that more defensive side of him. Can you still pull the strings? Are you able to create the chances for those in front of you? And I want to see Dewsbury Hall playing close to him when we don't have the ball. And then I want to see Dewsbury Hall progressing. I want to see him confident, running at players. I know that speed isn't necessarily his strong point, but he is a good ball carrier. And I want to see him making those runs to join the front four. The front four, we're going to go with something a little bit different. Jadon Sancho is obviously back and he's fit, so I want to see him play. He also needs minutes if he's going to be back in the Premier League reckoning. So I've gone with Sancho right wing. I want to see that happen. I also want to see Joao Felix in the 10. Mudryk, who I'm very excited to see, left wing, and then Christopher Nkunku up front. This is a game where all four of these attackers have absolutely got a point to prove. And there is no doubt in my mind that Maresca will see any one of those players out there who is putting themselves before the team. What I've loved about these Chelsea players so far, that aren't playing every week, that aren't necessarily starting, some not even making the squad, let alone ever coming off the bench. What I love about the team that we've got now is that it does seem like a brilliant collective. All four of those front players, think about it, right? Joao Felix was over 100 million quid many years ago. Nkunku is a world-class player. Mudryk was 60 million, 65 million. And Jadon Sancho was also nearly a £100 million player. That's an insane attack for Chelsea to be using in this Conference League. But I think what we've got here is Mudryk, I think, has got to play here. Because if he doesn't play against Heidenheim, you might as well just get rid of him now. What are we waiting for? We've got to give the man an opportunity. Joao Felix has scored loads of goals in this competition. Got a start of the weekend in the Prem too. Can he back that up by once again delivering and winning us this game? But I want to focus predominantly here on Christopher Nkunku because this is, for me, the most important game of Nkunku's season. Yes, he's not getting starts in the Premier League. We know that. Nicholas Jackson is keeping him out of the team. But Christopher Nkunku, even in these Conference League games, he was kind of stat padded in that last one. We scored 8 against Noah and he scored the last 2. I think this is one of those matches where Nkunku needs to absolutely put on a masterclass. Otherwise, that knock on the door, like he's not even going to reach the door soon, let alone knock on it. Do you know what I mean? We've used that all season when it comes to the way that we describe the necessary performances for these Conference League players to even be in the equation for Premier League minutes, let alone starts. So, my score prediction for this one, I'm going to say 3-0 to Chelsea. I really want a clean sheet, so I'm just going to stick with that for now. Badiashiel's going to score. All right? I've had some unbelievable calls this season, so this one, stick with it for now. Badiashiel scores. Nkunku and Mudryk also get on the score sheet. Chelsea win 3-0. Let me know your score predictions in the comments down below. Let me know your Chelsea starting 11. Who are you excited to see in these Conference League games? The match is on at the most ridiculous hour known to mankind for me. The game kicks off at 1:45 a.m. my time, which is lunacy. And I've also got a paddle tournament that goes on till 9 p.m. So I think I'm going to try and stream. It might be a disaster. And then I also might have a photo shoot all day on Friday. Don't ask, all right? It's just a Bali thing with my girlfriend. Not that kind of shoot as well. I know where you're going with this, but I might not be able to stream, basically, is what I'm saying. So I might need to I won't be able to sleep, so I'll be watching the game. 6 things we learned will be there, basically, but will I have the energy for the stream? I don't know. So stay tuned to the channel. Keep an eye on it. If you're not subscribed, make sure you do so that you can check. And then when the stream appears, if I'm doing it, you can notify yourself when it starts. So let me know all your thoughts in the comments down below, and I'll see you guys later on today.